Tuesday evening, 9:47 p.m. The marmot, phone in hand, stares at the bear with nuclear-level intensity. Your teen wants to game online until midnight. He has a test tomorrow. You said no, for real. With conviction. You felt like a parent for a full 4 seconds, and then he looked at you. Not a defiant look. You're going to cave, we both know it look. Let's just speed this up. The bear slumps his shoulders, raises a paw in surrender. Your no became fine, but just this once. You know what happened at 9:48 p.m.? You won your evening and lost the war. Here are the 3 things that happen when you refuse to be a parent. Not when you're mean, not when you yell. When you're nice, too nice, the kind of nice that makes your teen talk to you like an intern. You'll recognize yourself in at least 2. The third one you're probably doing right now. You told yourself you wouldn't be that parent, the one who lays down the law. The because I said so type. You read the blogs, you internalize gentle parenting, like others internalize yoga, with fervor and without ever reading the fine print. Congratulations. You're not your parents. You're your own child's hostage. The marmot gives a thumbs up without looking up from his screen. And the worst part is, you did all of this out of love. First thing, you confused avoiding conflict with parenting. You said yes, a lot. On small things, on medium things, on things you knew were a mistake, but didn't have the energy to fight on a Tuesday night. You rebranded your cowardice as gentle parenting, because it sounds way better at dinner parties than, I just don't have the energy anymore. I say this with the authority of someone who caved 3 times this week. And it's Tuesday. But here's the part nobody says out loud. Your teen didn't need a yes. He desperately needed a no, not to punish him, to reassure him. Because when nobody holds the perimeter, a teen's brain doesn't think, cool, freedom. It thinks, and this isn't a metaphor, great, we're all going to die. The marmot looks around, anxious. No walls, just emptiness. Second thing, you mistook a construction site for a finished building. Here's the neuroscience minute you didn't ask for, but urgently need. Your teen's prefrontal cortex won't be fully operational until age 25. This isn't a cute metaphor. It's biology. The construction site is active, exposed wires everywhere. A gas leak, and the foreman just quit. The bear, hard hat on, stares at the brain blueprint. He shrugs. I studied philosophy. Because door slamming exhausts you. Because you want to be liked by someone whose bills you still pay. The marmot slams a door. The bear jumps, spills his coffee, throws his paws in the air. Studies are clear. Permissive parenting produces more anxious teens, with a frustration tolerance near absolute 0. Not because you didn't love them, but because love without structure isn't parenting. It's a radiator. The bear hugs a radiator. The radiator does not hug back, and a radiator has never taught anyone to stand up straight. And now, the truth that stings. The reason you drift toward permissive parenting isn't for your teen's well-being, it's for yours. So, you cave. And every time you cave, your teen registers one message. My parent collapses under pressure. The marmot takes notes in a journal. Page title, How to Break Dad, a Practical Guide. Diana Baumrind, developmental psychologist, spent her career classifying parents into 3 categories. The permissive parent says, I want my child to love me. The authoritarian says, I want my child to obey. The authoritative, the only one science backs, says, I want my child to become a good person, even if today he hates me a little. Third thing, you are raising an adult who won't know how to protect himself. The marmot at age 8, showing a drawing to the bear. At 14, he negotiates 1 more hour. The bear caves. At 22, he can't say no to his boss, who asks him to stay until midnight. At 30, he's in therapy, learning to set boundaries nobody ever taught him. Fast forward 20 years. Your teen, now an adult, is unable to leave a toxic relationship, not out of weakness, out of habit. He spent 18 years managing other people's emotions before his own. He can't say no to an abusive employer. He confuses being kind with being a doormat. Adult marmot on the phone with his boss. Stay until midnight? Yes, 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 I'm so sorry. So sorry. Should I bring snacks? You didn't teach him that with speeches. You taught him on a Tuesday night at 9:48 p.m. when your no became okay. Here's what it looks like when you're losing your footing. Sign number 1. Your teen says, don't worry about it, about everything. Behind the marmot, his room is on fire. Sign number 2. If your life looks like a permanent parliamentary session, you're not a parent anymore. You're a UN mediator. Sign number 3. You say yes to buy peace, then feel guilty, then say yes again to compensate for the guilt. It's the parental hamster cycle. No exit, just a wheel. Breathe. You're not a monster. You're just an exhausted human who confused being kind with quitting. So here are the 3 rules, not 10. 3. 1. Separate love from approval. Your teen doesn't need you to agree with him. He needs a load-bearing wall he can punch without the building collapsing. I understand your frustration, and the answer is still no. That's radically different from, fine, I don't want to fight. One proves you're solid. The other proves you can be worn down, and they have all the time in the world. 2. Set rules when things are calm. The worst time to establish a rule is during a hostage situation at 11 p.m. in the hallway. Rules, phone, curfew, grades, get discussed on a Saturday morning over pancakes when nobody is losing their mind yet. 3. Hold firm just once. Permissive parenting collapses at enforcement, not at the rule. You set the limit. The teen pushes. You feel guilty. You cave. You just installed a satisfaction guaranteed return policy on your nose. Refundable within 30 days. Backbone, not included. You don't need to be cruel. You need to be boring, deadly consistent. A boundary that holds once holds for a long time. A boundary that breaks once must be rebuilt from the ground up. And rebuilding foundations on a Tuesday night, trust me, is worse than holding firm the first time. And here's the sentence: I'm not running for your affection. I'm your parent. You're not running a campaign. You don't need his vote. You need him to reach age 25 with a functional prefrontal cortex and the ability to say no without an existential crisis. None of this means you're a bad parent. It means you're an exhausted human who believed the internet's miracle parenting recipes, and incidentally, that your teen's biology is a cosmic joke lasting 25 years. Next time your teen violently opposes your decision, don't read that resistance as proof you're traumatizing him. Sometimes it's proof you're doing exactly what he needs, even if he's internally insulting you. The marmot briefly looks up from his screen. Not long. Just enough. They don't need a friend having a midlife crisis. They need a parent with a backbone. You won't see results tonight, not even this week. But the things planted in silence, even clumsily, even on a Tuesday night at 9:48 p.m., those things grow. The bear raises his cup to the camera. Subscribe or don't. But if you don't, own it. That's precisely what this episode is about.